Rebound regrets. Why they come back after moving on. They told you they were over it. They moved on fast, maybe even too fast. New photos, new smiles, maybe even a new relationship. And you? You were left wondering how they let go so easily. But here's the truth. Most people don't actually move on. They distract themselves. There's a big difference between healing and hiding from the pain. In today's video, we're diving into the truth behind rebounds, why someone who seemed done with you suddenly circles back, and what it really means when they come back after moving on, because rebound regret is real. And if you're wondering whether they miss you, or just miss not being alone, you're not crazy. You're just seeing past the illusion. Let's break it all down. A rebound relationship isn't always what it seems. It's not just a new partner. It's often a reaction, a way to escape the emotional crash after a breakup. Psychologists define rebounds as fast-moving, often shallow connections that serve one main purpose: to numb the pain of loss. It's the ego boost after heartbreak, the temporary high to replace the emotional low, and biologically, it makes sense. Breakups crash your brain's feel-good chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, all take a dive. So what does your system crave? A new hit of connection, someone, anyone, to feel something again. For some, rebounds are coping mechanisms. For others, they're denial in disguise. But make no mistake, rebounds aren't built on deep foundations. They're built on distraction, and that's where the cracks begin to show. So, why do people rush into a rebound right after a breakup? It's not just about moving on, it's about avoiding the silence, the grief, the mirror. Psychologically, breakups trigger a fear of abandonment, a blow to identity, and often, a panic to feel wanted again. Some people jump into a new relationship not because they're ready, but because they're terrified of being alone. They need someone to fill the emotional void, to prove they're still desirable, to keep the pain of the past relationship at arm's length. And for those with insecure attachment styles, like avoidance or anxious types, rebounds feel like relief, but only for a moment. There's also ego at play. Some rebound just to show their ex they've moved on first. Others want control, closure, or even revenge without ever processing the breakup itself. So while it may look like confidence, rushing into someone new often hides emotional chaos underneath. Rebounds can feel like healing, but in reality, they're often just emotional anesthesia. The attention feels good, the chemistry feels exciting, and for a while, the pain fades. But that feeling? It's not healing. It's numbing. It's dopamine doing its job, not your heart actually moving on. This is why so many rebounders crash. When the novelty wears off, when real emotional depth is required, they realize they never actually dealt with the breakup. They didn't grieve the loss. They didn't reflect on their role. They didn't learn anything. They just replaced. And when that temporary connection starts to feel empty, regret hits hard. Because healing takes time. It takes discomfort. And no matter how fast you run from your feelings, they always catch up. So, how do you know if it's a rebound and not real love? There are patterns, and once you know what to look for, they're honestly hard to miss. First, everything moves fast. Declarations of love, deep talks, even moving in together. All in weeks, not months. That urgency? It's not passion, it's panic. Second, they flaunt the relationship. Non-stop social media posts, stories aimed at their ex, or selfies that just scream, "Look how happy I am now." It's less about connection, more about performance. Then, there's the emotional depth, or, honestly, the lack of it. They avoid serious conversations. They don't ask about your feelings. It's all surface-level fun, not real emotional intimacy. And if they're constantly bringing up their ex, still angry, or oddly competitive, that's a red flag. They're not over it. Not even close. Rebounds often mimic love, but real love takes time, and time is the one thing rebounds try to skip. Regret after a rebound isn't random. It's actually hardwired into how we process emotional loss. After a breakup, your brain experiences withdrawal. Just like any addiction, love leaves behind chemical cravings, and a rebound, well, it temporarily satisfies that craving. But here's the catch. Once the chemicals fade, the truth comes back. The pain, the unfinished grief, the mistakes you didn't want to face. Psychologists call it the fading affect bias. Over time, your brain softens negative memories, and suddenly your ex doesn't seem so bad. You start to idealize the past, even if it was messy, and then comes the inner conflict. Did I leave too soon? Was the breakup a mistake? Is this new person really what I want? Or just a placeholder? That's the science of regret. It doesn't show up right away. It sneaks in when the distractions wear off. So, why do they come back? After all that moving on. It's not always love. Sometimes, it's loneliness masquerading as clarity. One major reason? Their rebound collapsed. The distraction wore off, and now they're facing the feelings they ran from. Suddenly, the comfort they once had with you doesn't seem so replaceable. Another reason? Idealization. Time softens the bad and highlights the good. They remember the laughs, the safety, the intimacy, and forget the arguments, the distance, the issues. There's also guilt, the way they left, the pain they caused. Especially if they jumped into a rebound and realized it hurt you, regret can push them to reach out, even if it's too late. And for some, it's control. They want to see if you're still there, still waiting, still open. It's not about rebuilding, it's about reassurance. So when they come back, ask yourself, are they coming for you or for the version of themselves they lost when they left? Not every return is a red flag. Sometimes people truly grow after a breakup, but here's how you tell the difference. If they've done real work, emotionally, mentally, they won't come back with empty apologies or vague promises. They'll show reflection, accountability, change. They won't rush. They won't push. They'll ask, not assume, because they understand trust has to be rebuilt, not expected. On the other hand, if their return feels frantic, if they're love bombing, blaming their rebound, or pretending nothing ever happened, that's not growth. That's fear. You deserve a return that's rooted in clarity, not panic, in healing, not habit, in mutual truth, not emotional confusion. So before you open that door again, ask yourself, are they showing up as someone new or just missing the version of you that loved them unconditionally? In the age of swipes and stories, rebounds don't just happen fast, they happen loud. Social media fuels the illusion of moving on, posting a new partner, flaunting happiness, curating perfection. It's not always about joy, sometimes it's about being seen. And if you're watching it unfold from the outside, it can feel like a gut punch. But remember, highlight reels aren't healing. Experts say watching your ex's rebound online can reopen wounds that were starting to close. That's why muting, unfollowing, or even blocking isn't being petty. It's being smart. Then there's dating apps, a fast lane to distraction. Sure, they offer quick access to new people, but that instant gratification often leads to emotional burnout. Swiping isn't the same as connecting, and if someone rushed into a rebound through apps, chances are it was more about filling space than building something real. In today's digital world, it's easy to confuse visibility with value. But true healing happens offline, in silence, reflection, and time. So what do you do when they come back? First, pause. Not every I miss you deserves a door reopening. You're not obligated to repeat old lessons just because someone had late timing. Ask the hard questions. What's changed? What have they learned? What have you learned? If you're the one feeling rebound regret, give yourself grace. Regret doesn't always mean you made the wrong choice. It can just mean you're human, still healing, still processing. Instead of rushing to fix things or fill a void, focus on you. Rebuild your self-worth, reconnect with who you were before the pain, and resist the urge to make clarity a group project. Some answers come only from within, because whether or not they return, you deserve to move forward with peace, not confusion. Rebound regret is real, But it's not the whole story. Some people come back because they've grown, others come back because they're lonely, and some never come back at all, because the lesson was meant to be yours. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need closure in the form of a second chance. What you do need is truth, your own truth, about what you felt, what you deserve, and how you choose to love moving forward. So whether they moved on fast, or came back slower than you expected, don't let their timing define your worth. Your healing isn't on their timeline, it's on yours, and you're already doing it. Let me know your thoughts below, like this video if it helped, and subscribe for weekly updates.